Have you ever felt like your money just vanishes? One minute your bank account looks pretty good, and the next, you're scratching your head wondering where it all went. Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain. We're going to show you exactly where your money is going, using a really simple but, wow, incredibly powerful tool, the circle graph.
No, seriously, think about it. Have you ever looked at your balance at the end of the month and just been completely baffled? Whether you're trying to save up for a new car, a dream trip, or honestly, just trying to make it to next month, knowing where your money is going is the very first step to telling it where you want it to go.
And look, this is a challenge literally everyone faces. It doesn't matter if you're a student, just starting your career, or even a new business owner. Take Marsha, for example. She just launched her own company, and she absolutely has to keep a close eye on her finances. The exact same ideas she's using to track her business can help us get a real handle on our own personal budgets.
So that brings us to our first big idea. Let's just forget about thinking of a budget as some kind of restriction. Instead, think of it as a way to take back control.
That's right. When you get the math behind your money, you're not just crunching numbers, you're making power moves. You're basically creating a roadmap that's going to help you get to your financial goals, whatever they are. Buying a car, saving for a down payment, or just having that amazing feeling of financial freedom.
Okay, so to build that roadmap, we're going to need the right tools. Let's break down the two key concepts that are going to make all of this possible.
First up, percentage. The name kind of gives it away. Percent literally means per 100. It's just a simple way of talking about how much of something you have out of a total of 100. It's simple, but it's so powerful for understanding your money.
And that brings us to the star of today's show, the circle graph, or as you probably know it, the pie chart. It's the perfect visual for a budget because the entire circle, the whole thing, represents all of your income. That's your 100%. And each little slice shows you exactly where a piece of that pie is going.
So how do we make sure the slices are the right size? It's actually just a simple two-step process. First, you figure out the percentage for each category. Part divided by whole times 100. Then, to get the angle for your slice, you just multiply that percentage by 3.6. Now, why 3.6? Easy. A full circle has 360 degrees, and 360 divided by 100% is 3.6. See? It all connects.
All right, theory time is over. Let's get our hands dirty and actually build a budget blueprint from the ground up with a real-world example.
Let's start with our whole pie. We'll say it's a gross monthly income of $3,500. This is our whole, our 100%, before a single expense or tax is taken out.
Now this is where we see our formula in action. A common rule of thumb is that housing shouldn't be more than about 30% of your income. So we take that 30%, we multiply it by our magic number, 3.6, and we get 108. That's the size of our housing slice, 108 degrees.
And just like that, the first piece of our budget is visualized. You can immediately see that chunk of your income that's dedicated to housing. This is so much clearer than just seeing a number on a spreadsheet, right? It gives you an instant sense of how big that piece really is.
Now, we basically just rinse and repeat for all our other expenses. Food, transportation, clothing, you name it. Each category gets its own slice of the pie. And yeah, not the dessert kind, the math kind. Let's see how it all comes together.
And there it is. This is the final picture. With every single category calculated and color-coded, you can see your entire financial life in one single glance. This is why we do this. You can instantly spot if one area, maybe like eating out, is taking up a much bigger slice than you realized. This visual is the key to helping you make smarter choices.
Okay, you've seen how it's done, now it's your turn. Let's put these new skills to the test with some rapid-fire, real-world money challenges. Ready?
All right, first up is Carlos. He's figured out his big monthly expenses. $350 for food, $320 for transportation, and $950 for housing. He works a pretty standard 40-hour week. So the big question is, how much does he need to make per hour just to cover those essential costs?
Okay, let's break this down. First, we need to get Carlos's total monthly expenses. We just add up his food, transportation, and housing. $350 plus $320 plus $950, which gives us a total of $1,620. So when you run the numbers to figure out what that means for every hour he works, it comes out to $11.85 an hour. That is the bare minimum he needs to cover his basic living costs.
Next challenge. Meet Lisa. She has a big, exciting goal. A trip that's going to cost $4,775, and she wants to go in just 8 months. We know her income is $3,500 a month, and we have a list of all her expenses. The ultimate question is, after all her bills are paid, will she have enough left over each month to actually hit that savings target in time?
So can Lisa make this dream trip happen? Let's do the math. First, we add up all her monthly costs, rent, utilities, food, the whole shebang, which comes to $2,767. Then we subtract your total expenses from her income. $3,500 minus $2,767 leaves her with $733 in savings every single month. You multiply that by 8 months and she'll have saved over $5,800. So can she do it? Yes, absolutely, with money to spare. This is the perfect example of how budgeting turns a dream into an actual achievable plan.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've seen how to take a bunch of numbers on a page, turn them into powerful percentages, and then visualize them to gain real, actual control over our finances.
If you remember anything from today, please let it be these two formulas. They are your keys to unlocking any budget. To find the percentage, it's the part divided by the whole times 100. And to find that angle for your graph, it's just that percentage times 3.6. That's it. That's the secret sauce.
And look, if you want to get really comfortable with this stuff, practice is everything. There are so many great resources out there, like budget calculators and practice problems, that let you plug in your own numbers and play around. Seriously, the more you use these tools, the more confident you're going to feel.
And that, really, is the bottom line. This was never just about a math class. When you can truly see where your money is going, you are in the driver's seat. You're not just doing calculations, you are mastering your money moves.